All right, welcome to the Broker Review podcast number 7. Joining me today, we've got Scott. Hi, Scott.
Hello.
We got Vince.
Hey, Craig.
Hi, Vince. And Chad. Wait, is Chad? Did Chad say he was going to make it? I thought.
Yeah, Chad sent a text. Apparently he is alive, but he said that he was actually somewhere in Cincinnati, Ohio, looking at water fountains or something. What?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember when we went there as a group, he really enjoyed the water fountain in downtown Cincinnati. So he's apparently down there scouting out water fountains. I don't know.
I hope he's seeing a Reds game. I remember I got a random over-the-phone interview while in a bar about to walk into the Cincinnati Reds game, and they were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We'll stop. We could do this interview another day." I'm like, "No, it's fine. I've only had 3 beers. Go ahead." And so he did the interview and nailed it and got the job.
Yeah, great job.
What job was that?
I think that was with Potawatomi.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I had to do one more interview after that, and they said they gave me the job because I was the only person not wearing jeans.
You're doing great, Scott.
Good job. Who wears jeans to an interview? Unbelievable.
Scott does. He does great.
No, I was the only one that didn't. I was really classing it up. It was because I just kept hearing over and over, "Stay classy, stay classy." And I realized it was from the Brooks Review and all of our tapings. So without that, I may not have gotten that job.
That's just awesome.
Yeah. Well, good. All right, here we go. With this episode, again, we're going to usually try to tackle some minor league stats and some updates and whatnot. We're not going to on this episode for no reason, but next time we're going to, next Thursday, if you chime in for our new podcast then, number 9 most likely, we'll do I've got a minor league expert, Brandon, working on his top 20 Milwaukee Brewers minor leaguers 2018 season. So I'll reveal that list for you guys, or maybe Brandon will come in and do it himself in
Nice.
a week from now. But for this one, let's move on to our fan email. The first one is, and again, thanks everyone for sending in the emails. Once again, if you'd like to submit a question for us to talk about on a future podcast, please send your questions into Broker Review podcast at gmail.com.
Or look for us on Twitter. I know we have a lot of followers. We actually dipped a little bit in followers. I think they took out some of those like suck plots and stuff like that. So we're down to 19, unfortunately, but I feel like we're really going to get up there soon. So hopefully triple digits in the next couple months.
It's weird because we get all those emails. It must just be people that are too nervous to reach out and add us on Twitter. You guys can, if you're listening to this, you can feel free to add us on Twitter and our social media accounts. So don't hesitate to do that. We do get a lot of emails, so I know people are definitely following the show.
Yeah, I mean, this show is for you, our fans. I mean, I know it sounds like we're just doing it for our own amusement, but no, that's totally not true.
Okay, for this week's question, or one of them we've got, is this one's from Michelle. She's says she's from Perlongo, Wisconsin, and her question is, what are your guys' thoughts on how manager Craig Counsell has been handling the bullpen so far in 2018? Who wants to start?
I can start on that. I think that so far it's been all right. I wish the guys could get in a little bit more of the settled roles. I know that that's kind of old school, but I do think that it does help with their mentality going into the games, that they have a kind of a defined position or a defined role, an eighth inning guy and a closer, for instance. Not that you can't interchange that somewhat with matchups, but we've seen him try to replace Knable with Elbers and with Josh Hader picked up the save yesterday. So I do know that seems to be in a little bit of a flux. But overall, I'd grade him a B on a bullpen, given what he's working with and given the injuries that he's had.
I'm really glad you brought that up, Vince. And I'm going to compare it a little bit to my just a work situation, okay? Like if you're usually working 9 to 5, and then all of a sudden your boss is like, hey, can you come in at 7 tomorrow? And you're like, 7? Oh, that sounds horrible. Well, you can leave at 3, so you're still going to work the same hours. And still you're like, it's kind of going to throw off my routine a little bit. But, and like, you're just mentally not there yet. And you're like, what's going on? That's exactly what it's like when you just don't know when you're going to get called in. You don't have a set role in the bullpen. That's kind of what it's like. So it throws me off a little bit. I'd expect it to throw off them a little bit too. But to answer the question, I guess, I mean, the bullpen is still our strength, and we're still having great results. So everybody's getting a decent amount of work. So overall, I'm still going to give him like a B+ on how he handles it.
I really like your work analogy, Scott. I know that happens to you often, and they also make you move your desk just random times. I apologize for that happening to you. You don't deserve it. But anyway, no, I totally understand it, and that's a great analogy as far as just the mental roles of not knowing when they're possibly going to come in the game, or possibly not knowing if they're going to pitch that day, and not. And on top of that, Counsell even. Traditionally, like if you ever watched the St. Louis Cardinals ever since Tony La Russa, the manager, obviously through Mike Matheny, whenever there's a lefty up and the starter who's right-hander is struggling, or the relievers in there struggling, and the left-hander is up at the middle innings, is important part of the game, they bring in their left-hander out of the bullpen to get that out. They play every out like it's very critical, and I think our bullpen, it just handled a more laissez-faire approach. Both methods could work, but I don't really necessarily. I don't agree with how he overall is handling it. I guess I'll just say that, Michelle. And once again, thanks for the email. So obviously, with Corey Knebel going down, everything's been thrown in more flux. But like you said, Scott, I think it's very frustrating for people not to know what their role is. I think Josh Hader knows what his role is. Called anytime after the starter goes out when we really need him the most, and he's been phenomenal. I think he's got like 22 strikeouts through 9 innings so far, something ridiculous like that. So he's just totally valuable pitcher for us. With that being said, it's frustrating even for a fan. Me watching Brew games, and we have a small lead going into like the 8th inning, and I'm thinking, all right, I have no idea who's coming in for the 8th and the 9th. Literally, I have no idea. It just could be anyone. I'm like, is it Barnes or, oh no, wait, it's Albers. Oh wait, no, it's J.J. Hoover. I wonder who now. Oh, okay, Jeremy Jeffress is coming pitching in the 5th inning now for some reason. But literally, I don't understand the philosophy behind it. I mean, I don't think it's one of those things where they're playing, where they've got so much stats that we're like, well, Jeremy Jeffress, as a pitches better against 3 batters due up this inning historically or something like that. I literally just think it's the ebb and flow of the game, and that he's just getting guys work in almost, it seems, rather than having to find roles. I guess to answer your question, I'm not happy overall with how it's being handled, and I think over the course of a long season, it's going to wear down our bullpen, both mentally and obviously trying to replace Knebel, both physically burn out some of these guys. That I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. So, all right. Well, thank you once again for the email, Michelle. Let's see. Well, there weren't any other emails, unfortunately. But once again, please send your emails to brewreviewpodcast@gmail.com, and there's almost 100% probability that we will answer your question until we're at the point where we get totally flooded. We'll make sure to try to get them in. All right, it's our time for our Step Up to the Plate segment, where we got 9 questions. All right, first inning, list. If you could only keep 3 Milwaukee Brewer relievers that are not on the DL, which 3 would you choose to keep?
Wow, this is rough right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Okay, it's not a keeper league though. We're just for this year, right?
It's not for fantasy either, Scott. This is for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Right.
Yes.
But forever.
No, I mean it's
just this year. Okay. So I'm saying Hader's the obvious. He gets to stay no matter what. Knable, also pretty obvious. He's in the state no matter.
No, Knable's on the DL. Knable's on the DL. Who are not on the DL.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay. Well then, wow, this throws a wrinkle in it.
Take your time, Scott. Make sure you do it right, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand. We gotta really do this. Okay, I'm gonna say Barnes. And Jefferson's been pitching good, but I still kind of feel like he's probably gonna come down to earth a little bit. I think I might go all right, I'll go Jennings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll go with Hader, Williams, and Albers.
Albers is a good pick. I was on the fence with him.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, I'm going to go to Hader, Jennings, two lefties, and Williams will be my third one. So I left Barnes off of it and Albers, but so it's close. But I think the point possibly is the fact that some of these guys are kind of, besides Hader, some of these guys are definitely interchangeable. And I want to say they're not valuable by any means. I don't think that any of the other guys really stand out. And of course, like guys like Barnes and Williams are younger, so you feel that they have more upside. But then again, when it comes to the experience that the veteran relievers have, sometimes you'd rather have that. So again, it really speaks to how the struggle I think Counsell may be having as far as what guys should be in what roles, and instead of forcing himself to do such a thing, I think he's just winging it, so to speak, going back to Michelle's question. And so, yeah, that's just overall my take on it. None of the guys really stand out from one another. With that being said, I don't think any one guy is a complete drag on the bullpen either. I mean, a lot of people online seem to not like Oliver Drake. I'm not a huge fan of myself, but I also don't think he's absolutely horrible either.
Albert Drake is the worst pitcher in the Brewer bullpen in the last 20 years.
Yeah, think about this. We had Joe Wing.
Guy that's just trash. That's a mop-up guy, and the fact that he's our guy says how good our bullpen is this year. Also, Craig, I want to throw in Williams. If you ask me this question a year from now, I hope that Williams is part of my top three that I would pick. He's just a little bit raw right now. Still a little bit of control. It's got to harness that a little.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't know. I just think he's better than Jacob Barnes. Maybe not right now because Jacob Barnes has a little bit more experience under his belt. But if you're looking at the younger bullpen guys, I really think Williams will be better than Barnes in probably a year from now. But we'll see. Next question. Second inning. Let's move on here. What current Brewers, besides Ryan Braun, do you think will someday make the Milwaukee Brewers Hall of Fame? Scott, while we were out here, you mentioned that Jeff Jenkins just made the Brewers Hall of Fame. So the bar to make the Brewers Hall of Fame is not quite that high, so to speak. But what current Brewers besides?
We might have lost Craig.
Yeah, I think his reception was not the best.
Oh man, this is what happens when you're on assignment like this. I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, West Dallas is freaking out. We got to get Craig back. Everyone, no one knows what's going on. I don't even know what the rapid question number 3 is going to be for the third inning here. I mean, this is a disaster.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, any one of us could edit this out, I suppose, but it's not really my thing.
I mean, we can have one of the interns edited. I mean, no question about that. But yeah, Craig was really choppy that entire last segment. I actually went outside just to make sure it wasn't me, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. And thanks a lot, fans, for enduring this. But I think what Craig was probably trying to say is what Brewer is going to make the Walk of Fame. And for me, currently on the roster, I got to say Josh Hader. I think that'd be the obvious one. I think he's going to be lights out no matter what role he's in. The only thing is that if they keep him in this fireman role and he's throwing 60 innings a year, then that's not like a huge thing. So if I have to pick a hitter, I guess you have to go with Yelich, just because it's got to be somebody with longevity on this team. And since he's going to be here for 4 or 5 years, I guess that might be the best option.
Yeah, that's a good pick, Scotty. I'm gonna just kind of go out on a limb, and I'm gonna pick Travis Shaw. I think Travis Shaw is going to be in Milwaukee for quite some time, and it seems like he might be a likely guy if he's at all able to match some of the numbers that he did last season. So we'll see. But I'll just go on a limb and say Travis Shaw.
Considering how low the bar is set for Brew pitchers, I mean, how many aces have we had in the history of our franchise? Like 4.
If that, yeah.
So you would think maybe Chase Anderson has a shot.
Oh yeah, could be. I know. Yeah, I know that Craig really likes Wade Miley, and maybe Miley if.
Hey guys, I'm back.
If Craig's right about
Welcome
that.
back, Craig. We were just talking about Wade Miley and how he will not.
Guess who's not back?
Walk of Fame.
Guess who's not back? Wade Miley. Hopefully he never has. Anyway, can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah, we kind of answered a question already. We were just filling time. We said we might edit it, but I don't know. Our interns haven't been doing great. So I kind of said Hader and hitter Yelich. And
I said Shaw, and then we said your answer was going to be Wade Miley. So we're done with that round now.
Chase Anderson is
no.
So
yeah, we just
I'll pick Lorenzo Cain. I mean, he was originally drafted by the Brewers, and I think he's going to put up a pretty good numbers in 5 years. Going to be a fan favorite. You guys had great picks as well, but I'll go with that. All right, moving on here. Pick the year the next time the Milwaukee Brewers will make the playoffs.
Oh, God. Scotty already predicted this year.
Yeah, technically I did.
2018? Okay, Vince?
I'll say 2001. We'll go with 2019.
Okay, I'll go with 2020. Hopefully we're not all wrong.
Hopefully we're not all dead by the time it happens.
Hopefully we make it all 3 years. So
you win some, you lose some. Yep.
Exactly. Okay, now let's switch up here. The next couple of innings, we're going to go. We're on the 4th inning here. We're going to go with. I'm going to mention that. I'm going to mention the MLB team. This will be real rapid. An MLB team, and all you have to do is say pretender or contender for 2018. Okay. Guys, ready? Here we go. 4th inning. The New York Mets.
Contender.
Okay, I will say pretender. Next inning, 5th inning, Pittsburgh Pirates. Pretender or contender?
Pretender.
Yep, pretender. I agree. It's a great one.
I will say contender. Sorry, I don't agree with you guys at all. Oh wait, are we on Pirates?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I actually agree with you guys. Pretender.
Ouch.
I don't think they'll be there. Yeah, no, I do agree with you guys. Yeah. So our consensus the Pirates are not pretenders. Next inning, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, they're contenders.
I mean, they might contend for the wild card. I think the Dodgers will still dominate that division for a while, and Colorado's also tough. So contenders, but not for the division.
All right. I think they're contenders as well. So we actually agree on the Pirates and the Diamondbacks going in opposite directions. Okay. I think we're moving on. Does that bring us up to the 8th inning, I believe? What is your guys' favorite? If one of them had to be eliminated and there can only be one collectible that would still be popular on the market going forward, what, in your opinion, is a better collectible? Bobbleheads or baseball cards?
Oh, Christ. When you're saying collectible, I don't like either of these, to be perfectly honest, but if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick the bobblehead over the baseball card because, well, mostly because I'm a little bit jaded, I guess, with baseball cards in general and how the whole market is just garbage now. But it also, like, you kind of need something to display. So unless you're going to take that baseball card and then, like, frame it with, like, a signed 8x10 or something like that, or put a little placard or a signed ball with it, like, the card just doesn't do it for me. It's all about displayability. And the bobblehead is constantly displayed because you just wing it somewhere and never look at it again.
All right.
All right, so that was really in depth.
Yeah,
that was more in depth than most of your brewing analysis, but excellent though.
Yeah,
I've given a lot of thought on this. I've been trying to like decorate the man cave.
Excellent job, Gary. I prefer baseball cards to bobbleheads. I like the fact that baseball cards have all the random guys that are also playing in the big leagues in there that you can kind of go back and find your Joe Winklevoss and Jesse Levises of the world. I like looking back on baseball cards. So I buy the top set every year just to have it, and I've been doing that since forever, and definitely love my baseball cards. Although with a strong second showing starting lineups, actually, which I would also choose over bobbleheads.
Nice. Well, I'm 100% on board with Vince on this one. I really got into baseball as a younger producer. Collecting baseball cards, and yeah, they're a love of mine. And unfortunately, the industry was completely ran into the ground, and now kids have to have at least $5 somehow in their laws to buy a pack. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I agree with Vince's point. They're not displayable like bobbleheads are. However, they are. There's one made of every player back in the day that was on the roster, and so you'd have the common guys along with the stars, and it was almost like a form of gambling for a 10-year-old little boy, but basically to try to come up with a card that's worth a lot or your star player or whatever. But I mean, there's just something about opening up an excitement to open up a pack of baseball cards, which unfortunately probably none of our kids will get to enjoy unless they make a comeback, which hopefully they do. But with that being said, bobbleheads, I mean, I would think that they would kind of have lost some of their luster at this point, which apparently they're one of the best giveaways or most popular giveaways, and it doesn't seem like it's dying out in both the major leagues and all throughout the minor leagues. And all the way to the point of the fact that I'm sure you guys are aware that some guys came up with the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame Museum, which they're hoping to put somewhere in Milwaukee. I don't know how successful they've been since they don't have a location yet. I checked their website recently. And you may wonder why I'm wasting my time checking National Bobblehead Museum websites. But the reason why I was pointing that direction is because it was brought to my attention that they custom made a Tim Dillard bobblehead, and it's for sale.
Well,
so that was exciting.
That should be on our set here for the podcast. So we should just put that on set when we take this. Yep. So
were we in Miami together for the World Baseball Classic? Was that where we saw the Hall? Yeah. Like the whole bobblehead Hall of Fame, like it had just a bobblehead collection of every bobblehead ever made, or something ridiculous.
I don't know if it was quite that, but I mean they had an impressive collection. I don't know if it was marketed as that, but you might, and I don't know if that was a traveling thing or not. But I do know what you're talking about, and I was with you, Scott. But yeah, I was kind of impressed by that. But and so I think this museum has an idea, but I mean, or an idea that could be successful, but I don't know. For any baseball fans, perhaps it'll be something that will be worth attending. But what was your point, Scott?
I don't know if I had one. I was just looking up Tim Dillard bobbleheads. Looks like he had one.
That might be ordering, even though I'm a baseball card guy. That would be a pretty sweet bobblehead to have.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the ninth inning here. Wrap this thing up. All right, for you guys as hosts, I know you guys were great baseball players in your own right in high school, but had you been drafted by an MLB team, and if you had got to choose, like Shohei Ohtani got to choose to be a hitter or pitcher, or if you can't decide, I guess you get to be both, what position would you play had you made the major leagues? Scott?
I don't know. I think I would have been a center fielder because I was really, really fast when I was young.
It did you well in Navy boot camp too, Scotty. That was great.
Yeah, I couldn't pick it good enough to be a shortstop. So, yeah, I played a little short in second, but only when needed. Yeah, I guess I would have said I'd say center field.
Nice.
Coach.
I would choose first base. That's what I played for many years. Played through my senior year of high school, and freshman year I made the college team as a first baseman, but didn't actually play because I transferred to UW-Madison where we have no team.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, I would go with starting pitcher myself. I, like Vince, went to UW-Madison, but unfortunately I did not get to play baseball there because, unfortunately, they did get rid of the team before I got there. But anyway, back in the day, there were actually been some Major League Baseball players that were alums from UW-Madison.
Yep.
In fact,
Yep.
Vince, I'm sure that's you know their names.
Well, I know a couple. Paul Quantrill, I know, played for Madison. I think Harvey Keene went to Madison, didn't he? Former Brewers manager and a star outfielder for the Giants and the Tigers. I want to say Ken Ryan, was he there? A former reliever for the Red Sox as well?
Maybe I believe so, yeah.
Okay. I know Paul Quantrill. Even though he's Canadian, he played at UW-Madison for undergrad, and I don't know too many other ones, but as far as guys that made the big leagues, but there was at least those couple guys.
Yeah, those are some good ones, and there are some other relievers, I think. But here's another fun fact that I'm sure our fans at home listening will find interesting. Paul Quantrill's son, Cal, was drafted recently by the Padres in the first round, and he is, in fact, in the minor league system of Scott's fantasy team called the Scary Monsters. So,
wow,
they're the twisted slappers.
That is Craig. I'm impressed. You're really tying it all together. It's all here under one roof. This show, holy cow!
That's the closest I have to a Brewer on my team, though, unfortunately.
By the way, through the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame website, not only did they customize and are selling it, Tim Dillard bobblehead at a reasonable price, I believe, but for an unreasonable price of I think $200, you can actually have a custom bobblehead made of anyone. So I know if Chad, I know he might be at a casino right now, but he goes on a good gambling lucky spree like he did a few years ago. Perhaps he can help us chip in and get one made of Scott.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's a sucker's way to do that. That's $800 for the four of us when we already basically had our own carvings from the great Joe Rovat.
Joe Rovat. That's what I was going to say.
What a hero.
Joe Rovat.
I can't believe that. Wow, what a guy.
Joe Rovat. Yeah, what a guy. Is right. Where is that, by the way? Where's Joe Rovat's carving of it? It was like Mount Rushmore.
I think that it's been donated to the Bobblehead Hall of Fame, even though it has no bobble. So I think they returned it. But anyway.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's somewhere.
It was a good run.
It's somewhere, which is better than nowhere. So
it was a good run.
All right. With that being said, I think that wraps up this episode. Like I said, a week from now, again, we try to release our podcast on Mondays and Thursdays for all you regular viewer or listeners out there. But on Monday we go over some Brewer topics, and on Thursday we try to go over some more Brewer topics, but also stress more on the minor leagues and answer some of our fan questions, and also do our Rapid 9. And also in future episodes we're going to touch back on an old segment we had on the Brew Crew Review, and that's our
where in the hell is Chad Collins?
Where the hell is Chad Collins?
Where the heck is Chad Collins?
Guys, also, I hate to say it, everything that I invested in that business plan where that guy said you just help two people and they tell two people. Yeah, it turns out it was all a scam. All my money's gone. But I still believe in the premise of it. So if everybody could just tell two people to sign up for our Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, these are all great ideas because I mean, I don't know how much longer. They might not even let us stay on Twitter if we only have 19 followers.
I mean,
19's a great number, Scott, though. That was Ramian's number, so. Anyway, but what I was going to say was also the Brewers Hall of Shame. We're going to have some more inductees going forward. We'll recap who's already in our Hall of Shame, the Rooker Review Hall of Shame going forward. But anyway, we've definitely got some more candidates.
I would like to propose that we induct a brewer and then a non-brewer. So, Carlos Zambrano, get ready.
Good point.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Scott. We could do that. We could do that.
We could go to the AL back in the day. Juan Berenguer.
he was replaced by everyday Eddie Guardado with the Twins. I like it, Scott.
I can't stand it. Oh, Albert Bella for giving Vina the forearm shiver.
Yeah. Yep. A couple guys refused to sign autographs for us back in the day too. I think we could probably go induct them. So.
Oh, Chris Bosio and his empty cardboard box that he'd carry out every day. Sorry, guys, got my hands full. Can't sign.
Yep. Exactly. I'm looking at you, Eddie Murray.
Or you could just board the Atlanta Braves team bus and try to get Chipper Jones' autograph. We only got about a minute.
Of anyone's control.
Okay.
All right, yeah, let's
wrap it up.
All right, sounds good. Well, hopefully the Brewers are in the midst of a successful homestand as you're listening to this. And if you're not, get out to Miller Park this weekend. Hopefully it's not snowing. And once again, until next time.
Stay classy, Wisconsin. Stay classy, Internet.
Stay classy, Miami.